Drawstringer Creations. I'm Greg. Now today's project is going to be a little special project for me. I'm getting married this weekend, so I'm turning our wedding bands out of black and white ebony. Now I'm going to be using these ring liners that I got from Craft Supply USA, and I'll leave a link to their website in the description below, so you can look and see where I got the blanks from. But come along and let's see how this turns out. I've not turned any rings yet, so this is another learning adventure for us. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, these are the materials I'm going to be using. I've got some black and white ebony that I've had for a while, and trying to decide what I wanted to do out of it. I was going to do a bottle stopper or a kaleidoscope out of it, but I believe this is going to serve well for our rings, and it's about the right size that I should be able, hopefully, to get some nice figure around the outside of the ring. And I think I'm gonna go end grain so that it doesn't have a grain change around the perimeter. But these are the blanks that I got from Craft Supply, and they're not very expensive. They're quite inexpensive, as a matter of fact, and they're very comfortable. They're polished on the inside and radiused, and they're very, very comfortable. So I have high hopes for this. So I also, since I don't have any tools really small enough to get inside, I have gone to everybody's favorite Harbor Freight and bought a screwdriver that I have modified the tip to make a little skew chisel out of. So that should be able to get inside to open these holes up for the rings blanks to fit inside the ebony. I like that end better. All right. Let me stand back and see what we can make out of this. Use a Forstner bit to start the hole. Don't force it. Ebony is an extremely hard wood, and you will cook your drill bits. You can see the smoke coming off even this. Okay, it's plenty deep enough for that one. And if I mess up and get it too deep or too wide, it can even fit the larger one. Alright. Ideally, I really should be supporting this with a tailstock, but I'm lazy and in a hurry. And I got my tool rest too high. That's much better. Almost, but I think I'll go a little farther. Good. All right. Let's try opening it up a little bit. About dropping. Yep, went a little too far. Should have measured it first. So let's go ahead and measure for the larger one. Just a very little bit. just to skim it. Be very careful, because you can always take more out, but you can't put it back. Oop, and I'm bumping the camera. There we go. You rough up the outside of this ring blank so that I can be better assured that the glue will stick. Well, there it is. Okay, we'll let that sit for a little while. I've got some accelerator, but I'm not crazy about using it. It turns it white, and I'm not convinced that it doesn't adversely affect the strength. So we'll be back here in a little while once this glue sets. Okay, now let's part it off. A little extra. Burn tool. I have got to finish building my tool rack. so I can see better. Okay, there's the first one. I'll have to trim that down and then mount it up on some cones on my ring mandrel. I'm sorry, on my pin mandrel. Let's turn the outside. Alright, let's turn the other one. Try to turn it slower and see if we can keep it from building up quite so much heat. All honesty, I probably should use regular drill bits to start out instead of a Forstner bit. That's moving an awful lot of wood for a wood like ebony. But for what I'm doing, I wanted a wood that I could be confident was going to hold up to the abuse of daily wear. I don't want something that's going to break easily or be easily damaged from being banged into things while it's being worn. I know that's plenty deep enough, but I want to go ahead just in case I cut too wide again like I did the first time. Okay. Very, very, very little. Alright. Very little. So let's see what we got. This is working fairly well. Okay, just a skim. Just a little bit more. There we go. Just a little bit more up inside. There we go. I was afraid of making it cone shaped in reverse, being wider on the inside, and I made it shallower on the inside. But of course, like I said, you can take it more off, but you can't really put it back on. So it's much better to have to come back and take more off than to have to throw some material away because you took too much. And I want these rings obviously to match. There we go. Maybe I got in there too good. Okay, what am I? There we go. All right. Well, I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to do like I did with the first one. I'm going to scuff the outside with sandpaper, then glue it in. And we'll be back shortly. All right. Let's see what we can do with this. too big a catch. Huh? No, no, no. We're good, we're good, we're good. If that's close enough, but I can do the rest with sandpaper. Excellent, excellent, excellent. If I get my tool rest up where it needs to be. Oh yeah, now I can ride it. And again, I think that's close enough. I can finish those off with sandpaper. Fixing number 9. Here we go. Got my micro mesh to finish it off. Tool rest out of the way. Start with 150. Get the basic shape. I'll go up to 600 with dry paper. Then I will put about probably 5 to 7 coats of CA, thin CA, and let it fully set in between each. And then I'll go up through the 9 grits of micro mesh to polish it. But before I polish it, I'll try them on, make sure that the shape is right, make sure they're not too thick. Oh, nice. I may have to add rings to my shop. get some opinions. If y'all don't mind leaving me a message, see what you think. Is this something that some of y'all be interested in as buying under from exotic woods that you might choose? Let me know in the comments. $240. We'll start out with 150. This is 320. Now these blanks that I got from Craft Supply USA are very, very comfortable. And they come in a couple different finishes. But this is a very, very tricky project. As I learned with the small ring, because when I got it glued in, it wasn't perfectly square in the hole. Now the larger ring, I didn't have that problem, but it was wide enough to index itself. The smaller ring kicked sideways, so I had to do some working with carving knife and sander, belt sander, disc sander, to even the blank up with the ring. That took me about 30 minutes, a little more, with this ebony, because like I said before, it's some extremely, extremely hard wood that doesn't like to move. Okay, this is 600. I've gone to 150, 240, 320, 400, and now I'm at 600. So, after this, I'll clean it up, wipe it down with denatured alcohol. I'll save these sandpaper because they didn't get much use. I can lose the mask for now. There we go. GoPros out of the way, since I didn't even use them on this project. This one's a one camera video. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. So now we'll put the first coat of thin CA, if I've not let it go bad on me. Okay, now I've got several coats of CA on here, thin CA. So we'll go through the grits of micro mesh. Just got to be careful we don't go through the CA finish, but if you do, it's no big deal. All you got to do is dry it off, put a little more CA on it, and do it again. Now, wood like ebony is dense enough that it'll polish up on its own really, really nicely. But I wanted this to be sealed better than that, since it's going to be worn on our hands daily, and I would rather just have a little better protection. We'll go through the micro mesh, do all the grits, and this will polish up like glass. You can use micro mesh dry, and I've got a set of micro mesh that I do use dry, but this I like to use it wet on CA finishes, and that's just about the only thing I use this set of micro mesh for, because I like the polish that it gives when you wet sand the CA. I've gone through 2 sets of this micro mesh already since I've been wood turning. This is I think this is the 5th grit. There's 9 in the set of micro mesh. The trick to using it is that you do your sanding with regular paper, and then you put your finish on, and then you use the micro mesh the first grit. You just want to do it until you get a even matte finish. You don't want there to be any spots that it doesn't cover. You just want it to be even, and it'll be matte and no shiny. If there are any shiny spots, then it means that there's a low spot in the finish. And typically I'll use the first grit of micro mesh, and then I'll dry it off and check to make sure there are no glossy spots indicating that there's a place that hasn't sanded smoothly. And I probably should have with this one, but I'm going to go through the grits first and check it again if I need to. If anything, if that happens on this, I will need to put some more CA on, because I didn't put but a couple of coats, I think 4 coats on this. And I don't want to sand through it. This should be number 8. And if you do use your micro mesh wet, make sure that you get it good and wet to begin with, because this will burn. It will cause enough friction that it will burn your pad and discolor your project, and that will end up ruining the micro mesh, wearing it out quicker, and it could possibly result in you having to start all over with your finish on the project. And this is the number 9 and the finest. I think this is the equivalent of like 12,000 grit, which would be about like taking a brown paper bag and rubbing it. But if it's even, it should polish up really well. I actually need to go through that again. The small one looks pretty good, actually, but the large one needs to go through again. You saw how glossy that was when I polished it up. We'll wipe it off and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. We're going to have to make sure I get the finish even first. So let's check it out. Almost. A little more. Can you see where it's got spots, those 2 lines there? I might have to put another coat on. Let's go a little farther first. You want to keep the micro mesh moving a little bit too. Don't hold it in one spot. It will burn your micro mesh. A little bit more. A little bit more. Then I'll have to clean my lathe bed up, so I'm be sure to keep it from rusting. And I'll be back when I get this polished up and let you see the end result. Okay, there it is. Look at that shine. Polished right up. So now I got to break it down and make sure that the sides are polished well, and it's finished. Now I hope y'all enjoyed. I'm glad that you, if you stayed with me, I'm happy. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this, and watch some other videos. Click the little bell so that you get notifications when I post new videos, and I hope that you would find your way back to my little spot and watch more of my videos. You should find something that you might like. I'm fixing to get into doing some more than just turning again. I'm going to move back into some furniture, some jewelry boxes, some chairs and tables, some cutting boards, rolling pins, all sorts of things. So come on back and see if we can find something. Should have something to satisfy everybody. Also going to be putting up some stained glass videos before long, and so come on back.